Booyah!
We are live. Welcome to today's live stream with myself and Mr. Randy Roday, the news guy. The logo is above and his link is below as well because he also doubles up as the channel sponsor. But we obviously do this live stream as well and have done for a
There
long
we
time.
are.
So there you have it. But
There we go. Mr. Nerdy is up there. What does that mean? 16.
I don't know. 16.
It's always hard to tell what the hell. Nerdy is such an interesting character.
He's just a fucking nerd.
He's going to be at Affiliate World as well.
Nice. That'd be great to meet him after.
I know it, right? Yeah, I'm excited to go have a sit down, get a steak dinner with him. I think he's bringing his wife, though, if I remember.
Yeah, we can take her out on a date, and I can take her out on a date, and you can.
I'll keep Nerdy occupied. Yeah.
He doesn't know what 16 means, but hey, it sounded good.
I love it. All right. You ever use a countdown thing? Before we launch, you ever use that here in Restream?
Nah. Should I? I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, so you would go live, but instead you can set whatever you wanted, 15 seconds or 2 minutes or whatever, right? And so it'll be a flashing countdown kind of thing. I use it sometimes. I don't know why. It's probably annoying to people.
That's when shit starts to break. When you ask me to do things that are out with the bare basics, that's when I get flustered and press the wrong buttons and cut myself off and stuff. So,
gosh, yeah.
But
here we are, holiday week, right?
Holiday week, yeah.
Getting ready for the new year. Got Christmas around the corner. Your wee Charlie is probably excited about Christmas.
He is. That's the school stopped here in the UK as well. They stopped on Friday. So yeah, he's in the house. He's got obviously Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to drive us all fucking crazy. And I am currently babysitting and doing a live stream while the wife's out grabbing the last minute bits and bobs. She's supposed to be done, and she's like, I need to go out again. I need to do the last minute shit. And I'm like, fuck's sakes. So yeah, but nah, you know what it's like, Randy. It's all for the kids.
I know what it is.
I enjoy the time off at Christmas, but like I'm not that fussed on gifts for me or what I want. Like it's more for Charlie. So as long as he's happy, I am a happy man.
But that's the way it always is with the kids. My kids are older now, right? So my kids are like Terry's, they're older. My youngest is 18. She still likes getting gifts. Even my son, who's 20, he likes getting gifts. But, it's not the same.
Nah, for the young ones, Charlie's age and stuff, it's magical. I need to be careful what I'm saying, but he still
good stuff. I know it.
Fucking believes in Santa. So, yeah. So
keep that quiet, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm slowing it down. But Terry is there. Morning, Terry. But yeah, so we've got to just keep it going for as long as we can. We might get another year out of it. We may not. We'll see what happens.
Do you do that? I think I asked you this last week. You do the elf, right? The elf on the shelf.
Yeah. It's always doing bad shit. It cut holes in my boxers the other day when I was sleeping. and his pajamas. So yeah, that elf.
Oh, that's funny.
So
that's funny. That's good.
Hey, Charlie, come here. I'm going to ask him what else it's done because I can't remember. He'll be able to tell me.
I love it. Yeah.
I think he's just ignored me. He's busy. He's too busy playing his PlayStation with his cousin.
He's got stuff going on. He's not, right?
I don't get a look in. See unless he needs a drink. I don't get a look in. If he wants something or he's no one to play with, then I get a look in. But now it'll just be like, what? And then he'll just keep on playing whatever the hell it is, Roblox. And
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah.
But Scottish elves are much different than in America. I
A
don't
little more mischievous, I think, right?
know. Is it not supposed to be a naughty elf? Like it doesn't do
Naughty
good
elf.
things.
Yeah.
It's not. It doesn't ever do good things. It's always a. I don't know. Maybe that is just a Scottish thing, but here it's always done bad shit.
Oh, you're yeah, it's supposed to be a naughty elf.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be good, nerdy. It doesn't bring you gifts or anything. It's a bit more of a vandal.
Yeah.
But anyway, Randy,
Yep, 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 yep.
we're supposed to be talking about business goals for 2026. So I'm curious to hear what your business goals are. Does anything change? Obviously, the industry's changing a lot, but what are your business goals? Is anything changing at all?
Yeah. Well, you know what I wanted to even just throw out. So, first of all, do you do goals? Do you set goals for the, you know, I always kind of look at this time, not necessarily always just because it's the new year, but it just always seems like it's the, I don't know. It's just like, hey, it is a new year, so let's kind of talk about what's the goal. And I've been so programmed throughout my career is like, hey, it's a new fiscal year, and so you make plans and do all kinds of things from a business standpoint. But do you do set goals though for your businesses as well as for yourself for your kind of personal goals for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the reason I do it, I know you've probably done it because you were forced to do it in the previous corporate background, so it's been kind of
Yeah.
drilled into you.
It's been like just hammered into me. You
Yeah.
got to do these goals.
I have a slightly different. I've never worked in that type of environment, but when it comes up to December, obviously things are supposed to quieten down, and it just gives me time to reflect on what I've done, what I've not done, what should I have done, what could I do better, and I always use this kind of period to tweak things and make goals and try and improve things, and whether that's from a personal perspective or a business perspective, I think it's a good time to do that and try and hit the new year with a better plan of action. So it's just always been a time to reflect for me coming up to Christmas. It's just that time where you properly get time off to look at things properly and relax a bit. And I think I'm a bit more creative when and I can think about things when I'm relaxed. Sometimes throughout the year when you're busy or traveling,
Mhm,
you
mhm.
don't have time to really fucking think about goals or anything. So it's definitely a great time of year for me personally to do that. And I've always done it, both on a personal perspective and on a business perspective. And one of mine is we've been talking about it for a few years is to get a bigger house, and that's something I want to try and get in the first quarter of next year. Is we keep talking about it, keep looking, but we need to just fucking get it done and stop fucking around because we're kind of outgrown the house we're in, and I want somewhere else. So that's just one from a personal perspective, but obviously from a business perspective, I've got a new business launching kind of now, but we're going to hit the ground running with stuff in the new year, AI related business. Um,
Sounds like a need for a press release.
it probably will be. It probably will be, mate. So tomorrow, I'm getting into the office, and we're going to be filming some new videos on the AI stuff. And obviously, we're not going to really be putting that out there publicly until after we come back in January. But just preparing for shit like that as well. So I want to get involved in some other stuff. In the last year and even the last 2 years, I've had health things, health goals that I wanted to get on top of. didn't quite manage them all this year with the setbacks and stuff that I had, but I'll not go into detail for the public there. But Randy knows, um, But next year again, but also in the last couple of years, I had obviously the health things and trying to get on top of that, which I think I have. But also, I was cutting down on the businesses that I was involved in as well, because I wasn't doing several of them very well, just because I had too many. So I cut away some business partners and some businesses that just weren't moving in the right direction, and I freed up a lot of time and stuff. And I'm now in a much better and stronger position to get involved in the AI stuff as well. It came along at the right time with the right people, and so going to be doing that as well. So yeah, I think there's a bit of personal stuff that I want to do and some business goals and hit the ground running. But obviously, those goals do change throughout the year as well.
Right, right, right.
I just do that. I try and look at it in a quarter by quarter basis, if I'm being honest.
Look at
The business goals.
and setting new goals, or just evaluating your kind of current goals, or
I like to evaluate them and stuff. I think for the first quarter of next year, because I've got other opportunities of other businesses that I can get involved in as well. But I basically said to those opportunities, let me get the first quarter out the way, let me get the other one moving in the right direction, and then I'll evaluate. And if I need to postpone something, or I can, if I'm doing well and everything's set up and it's going smoothly, I can look at other things. So I think you've always just got to adapt. You know what it's like with businesses. Sometimes with any kind of new venture, it takes a little bit longer, but sometimes on the flip side, things move a lot quicker as well. And if we've got the right people in place to do stuff, then I'll be over the moon. The big thing for me is I am not ever going to set myself up in a business now where I need to be doing all of the work. I'm more of a entrepreneur now.
right.
I'll build a team to do the business. I want to be fairly hands off. I don't mind investing my time, uh, cash, all of that kind of stuff into businesses. But the only way for me to really grow and scale is to get the right team and the right processes and get involved in the right businesses with the right partners.
Right.
And sometimes you hit stumbling blocks with some of those or all of those, as I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
Your business probably took years to get up and running efficiently, and stuff like that. So the AI business is no different, but it's we'll just see how it goes and evaluate every quarter, and then I'll see from there what else I've got time to do. But again, I'm at an age, Randy, and you're probably similar. I need to pick and choose my battles wisely now. I'm not getting any younger. I don't want to be fucking stressed out and stuff like that either. So again, evaluating opportunities. Are they too stressful? I've got, so that's why I don't go by a year basis, because I do value not being stressed and stuff like
Right.
that as well. I don't perform very well when I'm stressed. I'm a bit
Yeah.
of a fucking loose cannon when I'm stressed. So I know my weaknesses. And,
Well, I will tell you, I know for me as well. I try to reduce stress from my life from that standpoint. Even small stuff. I'm like, all right, I just gotta, I was sharing this with my daughter last night. Actually, she's heading off to college in the fall, and and I know in the back of my mind, I needed to get her a new laptop, to take away to college, right? Something that was going to last a long time for her, at least hopefully through the 4 years of school. That would be powerful enough, and all of this. And I've known this for, like, I don't know, the last couple of months. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to buy this laptop or whatever. And it's been like a little bit of an annoyance, like a little sliver in my fingertip. Like it's been like, and I've been looking at stuff just like, yeah, yeah. And my son's like, hey, laptops are really, chips are really sparse. There's a real shortage on chips, and laptops are getting more expensive because he was looking at something. I'm like, what? And I started getting more and more stressed about it. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Stupid, right? And finally, last night, I'm like, this is ridiculous. I just went and bought one and just like, I just got to get this. Why am I getting stressed over this thing? So I just kind of look at this stuff and like, I just gotta, you look at your life and like, okay, what can I do? Get it done or push it off or just dismiss it and just deal with it. So it's not like this little, even the little stressors, right?
Yeah.
Just,
Those are the worst. See the things
yeah,
that it's in your brain, but you
yeah,
can't fucking ship it out, and it keeps coming back. You're like, fuck. These
yeah.
are the worst ones. In all honesty, for me, all the shitty little. I mean, that is, a shitty little fucking stress. It's nothing really can be resolved. At
I
the push
know.
of a
And
button.
my daughter's like, Dad, we got plenty of time. I'm like, I know, I can't let it go. I'm fixated on this thing. It was like because and it's because my son planted the seed like, Dad, chip shortages, laptops are only going to get more expensive. I'm like, what? Oh my God. So you mean if I wait until like February or March, it's going to cost more? Or if I wait until June, it's really going to cost more? I'm like, oh, I,
Dude, you get a fucking Christmas deal anyway.
I know.
He's actually done it in Black Friday. Um, this
I
year.
did. I looked all over on Black Friday. I couldn't find any. I actually got a pretty good deal. I think I bought a Lenovo ThinkPad thing that I think will be pretty nice for it. But anyway, um, well, the thing with goals. So I am kind of curious. I start thinking about goals. I don't. So it sounds like you don't start thinking about them until like this time right now,
I,
right? In the sense of like the new goals, what you want to do in the coming year.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure that's wholly accurate. Probably coming up to like August, September, October. You're getting opportunities or
Yeah,
ideas.
yeah,
It's implementing them now is the thing.
right.
So, but when it comes to like August, September, I've still got speaking events. I'm still doing this. I'm still
Mhm,
doing that.
mhm.
So I don't have a lot of time for implementation. So I use Notepad and take ideas down and
Right,
think about them and then go over them. Should I not? Do a bit of research. So I don't like to jump into anything without doing research and stuff like that as well. Yeah, I do think about stuff way
mhm,
before,
mhm.
but it's
Yeah,
now right. Let's get this fucking shit done. I've not done this. I've not done that. Get this done. Get that done. Move this. Shut that one down. Stop this business or service or whatever it's going to be. They all go through my head, but I think it's more an implementation. And I was talking to Palmer about this the other week as well, and Palmer's the same. He's got a few, like Palmer's the Chinese wholesaler of all things SEO. You go to his website, and there's 100 different services, and and
the Chinese wholesaler.
yeah, and, and I was talking to him, and he's similar. Like he's known throughout the year. There's certain services that don't bring in a huge amount of profit, and they bring in sheer fucking stress and agitation. So again, he's using this time to cut them off, so that when he's going into the new year, cut down the bullshit and double down on the services that fly, that
Right,
give them the least stress. So yeah, I think there's it's not like you're not thinking about it. Maybe 6 months, four
right,
months, three
right.
months before, but it's just doing it.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I do. I typically kinda October is when I start begin thinking about what I want to achieve or, I start thinking about the coming year and I kinda take, I don't know, I had a mentor, this is years ago. I mean, when I first started in business, in the corporate world, I had a mentor, um, who kind of walked me through some, different ways about thinking about goals and both both from a business standpoint and from a personal standpoint. And he always had this kind of concept about, he always said, he looks at what, you know, I've been doing or what you've been doing over the course of the year. And then he always asks these questions like, what could you do more of? What could you do better? What would can you do differently? And then what would you just do less of or just stop? Right. So there's more, better, different, less. And uh and I've kind of always taken that approach a little bit and thinking about, okay, well, this is, this is my business. What, what's working well? What do I want to do more of in my business? I want to, like these particular services are doing great. And so how can we do more of those things? Or what do I need to do better? And, maybe I'm kind of doing a half-ass job at trying to promote something. I need to step up and get more committed to it or something. Do I need to do something different? Whether it's the way that we deliver something or whatever, or some of the stuff is like, yeah, I'm just going to stop, right? Just remove uh, stuff that's either kind of like what you were saying with Palmer. Sometimes you do things that are like a lot or very stressful, don't give you a lot of return on it, or it's just, ridiculous. And so I kind of ask those questions and then I begin mapping out larger goals. And I'm one of those guys. I like, hey, here's a big goal. I'm going to break it down into like, I'm going to do this, when I want to do it. I stage out the timing of it. Like, all right, here's the big goal. Q1, I want to see this. I'm going to do these steps to it. And then I, kind of say, okay, by Q1, I'm hope to be here. Map out some target steps. Q2, I hope to be here. Right. So I always kind of dice things up by a quarterly basis like that and measure. And if I'm making progress or if I'm not making progress, and I do that whether it's on the business side or on my personal side, my just things that I want to achieve in my own personal life or not. So like I like to read, right? So I'm like, hey, I want to have so many books that I'm reading or have read by each quarter, or I exercise, so I want to do this, or if I wanted to lose weight or grow hair or whatever the goal. So, yeah, right. Yeah. But
Uh,
I find that it works well. If I can do this kind of more, better, different, less, kind of examine what it is that we've been doing and then try to create a plan to change it, right? To either expand or contract or remove stress. But yeah.
yeah, look at Aaron there. Rub it in,
Yeah.
Aaron.
Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. I saw him do some video on the beach from that. That's probably where he was. I think he's been there for a while. So good for him. Yeah.
Yeah, why not? I love a bit of sunshine, so
Yeah.
not jealous at all.
Yeah.
There we
So
have
that's like one of my goals that I want to do in the coming year in 2026 is I want to do more traveling, but with like my wife and I together, right? So my daughter will be we'll have nobody at home with us. Our kids will be at university. And so
you
I
can
want to
do
go
what
and
you want.
do, yeah, just so like come the fall, and like, okay, hey, let's go for a couple of weeks, go somewhere and kind of hang out. And I can always do my work right remotely. So that's not difficult at all for me. But to go do some more traveling, go to like Puerto Vallarta, man, the being out on the beach, that looked nice. Like you guys did that. Where the hell did you go? You went where was that? In Spain or someplace? Did you go to Barcelona? Where was that you went? You and your wife, you took the whole family. You guys like rented some place.
Portugal.
Where?
Portugal.
Portugal. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the
family
kind of
holiday.
shit. That's what I want to do more of. In 26, we're gonna do more of those kinds of things.
Dude, it's see for me, like when the wife's getting ready, I can do a bit of work, or I get up early in the morning,
Mhm,
I'll do
mhm.
this, do that. I can do
Yeah,
the live stream sitting in the balcony or at the
yeah,
pool or whatever.
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
So nah, I enjoy it. I believe it or not, when I'm away doing that, I'm probably more productive. Like, you know what it's like throughout the day. You're just chatting shit and you're doing things at a fairly slow pace. But if you want to sunbathe, you'll get up early, fucking do your work or whatever you have to get done first thing,
Mhm,
sunbathe,
mhm.
and then you get back and do your streams or whatever the fuck you're
Right,
doing.
right.
And then when the wife's getting ready or whatever fucking shit she does, I'm sure they all take forever. My wife certainly takes forever. Again, I can talk to people or email or whatever I need to
Mhm.
do, and yeah, I'm fairly productive with it as well. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I I, I I like to. I'm more motivated when the sun shines there.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I love it, but, um, I've the team works fairly well, right now, and so I can take, time off if I needed to, but I really wanna do kinda like what you've just outlined, though. I wanted my wife and I, let's go to Portugal, let's go rent some place out for a week or 2 weeks and hang out in the sun, and I could work for a few hours during the day and do whatever I need to get done, and then go out and explore and go sit at the pool, do whatever, I don't know.
Yeah,
Go get some good food, but yeah, it's that kind of stuff. When you're so, like, when you have Charlie, right, you're a little more housebound only because, you and your wife can't go do that stuff because you get, the little guys in school and, you
yeah.
gotta work around the school schedules, and so now that my kids will be off into college, I won't have to worry about it. I'm like, "Well, you guys are
No,
tend to yourself now a little bit, so."
yeah, no, make the most of it. We used to take Charlie with us to events and all of that stuff and traveling when he was not at school, but obviously now he's at school, so we need to be selective when we can go. But yeah, we are kind of tied when they can come. on,
Mhm.
but I did, we got a fair few trips last year. We done the Portugal. We also went to Dubai. I was there for a conference, but they fancied a cheeky week in Dubai in February, and fuck it, you know, just sneaked over. And Charlie is probably similar to me. He looks really pale in the winter months and needs a bit of sunshine. So we thought, fuck it, let's go to Dubai. So done that as well. So it's
Well, I
always
think that's just because of Glasgow. You just don't get enough sun there. That's like Cleveland, where I am. I mean, we have it's like 260 some odd days of cloudiness, and so during for the year. So, if we get some sun, we'd, like, get outside, go get some sun.
that's one of the main reasons I'm coming to uh, affiliate Summit West is I need some daylight and something. I know it's not going to be
Yeah,
45 degrees, but it'll be something. It'll be 20 or whatever. I'll enjoy it. So yeah, that was the main pusher to go. Like, I know you guys were going, and I'm like, could I go there then down to Dallas? And I went, fuck it, I need some sunshine. Let's go. So,
yeah, yeah,
but
it'll be nice.
it wasn't the company that was the biggest selling point. It was definitely something.
Well, we'll get out, we'll wrestle around with Nerdy, that'll be fun.
Yeah,
Hey, good to see Bogdan. Bogdan Broadus, my man.
yeah, little
I dig
Bogdan.
it. Bogdan. Alright, I would love to hear Bogdan, Aaron, Nerdy, give us one of your goals. What do you what goals do you guys have for, 2026? I'd love to hear, like, one goal from you guys. So mine is I wanna do a little more traveling with my wife, that's kind of a personal goal. Um I one of from a business or a kind of branding kind of goal, I wanna do more podcasting, guesting. I wanna figure out how I can get myself out there to do more guest appearances on podcasts.
That's easy. That's easy. You just tell them you're coming on. Just invite yourself on.
Hey, hey, make room for me. Here I come. Like
That's always worked for me. I'm like, "Hey, is that a new podcast you've got there?" "Yeah, yeah, would you love to be a guest?" "Oh, yep, absolutely." And just got to shoot on your thing. And there's
yeah,
Ryan McGowan is saying, he also wants a
he,
podcast. I
he
don't know if
wants a
that's
podcast. Yeah,
to launch a podcast or to be on podcasts, but either way,
yeah,
it's good to do it. I tell you what, Bogdan, I'd love to hear what he says. Bogdan, uh, his business goals and what he does is fucking massively changed um, over the last year. He he's obsessed with SEO now. By the way, prior to that, like Bogdan was able to fuck around with websites and he was doing his podcast and all that.
right, right.
See, since he started talking to me and I gave him a few tidbits of SEO stuff and getting links and all that, he's fucking been beasting the life out of it. And listen, it's magnificent. His traffic shot up.
Yeah,
He regularly texts me, look at this guest post, look at that guest post. Dude, he's wangling him way in to all of these kind of. He's doing the outreach to the journalists and all that
yeah,
through
yeah,
and yeah, he's fucking killing it, man. But yeah, I think he's now with what he does in the SEO. It's now giving him like I could sell this, I could add that, I could do that. So you're seeing him grow and potentially grow the services that he offers. So yeah, he's had probably a strange year of testing, learning, and seeing that traffic grow. Um, so yeah, that's kind of story behind that. He reached 20K in traffic, and do you know what? He had a lot of the stuff. He just needed guided. He's not an idiot. He just needed guided or pointed. You're doing this, Bogdan, because of that.
yeah, yeah,
Didn't know how to join all the SEO dots up, but now he does. He's beasted it, and fair play. I like that kind of
yeah.
doer attitude. So fair play to Bogdan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, and plus he has a great product. His service that he does with his podcast producing and what he does is really top notch. Good stuff. Yeah.
Um, Ryan McGowan has a question. Um, how does how powerful is a podcast distribution for SEO, and does this help with AI overviews? So there's two elements to that question. Um, Podcast distribution, I think, is essential. You need to get that fucking podcast shipped out to all of the available platforms, and there's
Right,
plenty of
right.
platforms that allow you to do that, whether it be going to Apple Podcasts or all of the other various ones that are out there. But does that alone help with AI overviews? That part I'm not convinced on. I think you need to do a little bit more um, than just distribute the podcast with the AI overviews. But I don't know how you feel, Randy, because you fuck around with a lot of distribution. Would you think, and obviously you distribute your own podcast, I know you probably do that in combination with a bunch of other stuff, but would you just smashing that out? Do you think that helps with the AI overviews, just the podcast side?
Well, so I've let me hit on a couple of different things. So, how powerful is podcast distribution for SEO? So, I think from an SEO standpoint, yeah, Bogdan, yeah, use SaaSpod for hosting. Um, from an SEO standpoint, when you have a podcast out there and you put together your show notes and you can build your show notes thinking SEO optimization with your show notes in the title of your podcast, and then as well put links in your show notes of your podcast when you push that out and distribute it. From an SEO standpoint, yeah, that can be, I think, pretty powerful. Those links, especially that you put in the show notes, several of the podcast platforms will make those active or live links, and do follow links, and several of those are like really good links. Like Podchaser, as an example, is like an 84 DA link, do follow DA link. So when you're doing, a podcast and you're putting consistency, putting shows out there, and this is the piece when you then where I say it is linking into the AI overviews and such. As you're continually putting out content about your brand or whatever the subject matter is in regards to your podcast, I think that what it does, it kind of fortifies your brand. So it's one of the things I think that you have to do, just like you have to do social media, you have to do podcasts. I think you have to do press releases. You've got to have a stellar website. All of these things together essentially fortify your brand so that your brand does pop up in the AI overviews and being cited in the AI overviews. Not necessarily just that podcast does, but that your brand and what you do and where you do it is going to show up in the AI overviews. And I think a podcast is just an essential tool to make that happen. So,
Yeah, I think you've got to do all of that kind of stuff combined is essentially where I was trying to go with it, Ryan, for the AI overviews and everything else. But
mhm.
like Randy says, the links from a lot of these platforms are, I think Holly Starks, she uses podcasts as a link building method
Yeah.
as well. And Bogdan's saying iHeartRadio is do follow as well. And also send links from the show notes to your articles and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So I
Mhm.
think if you look at it from that perspective, there is power to be had there, Ryan.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
but the AI overview, I think you have to go on and do the other stuff as well, the press releases and everything else.
Yeah. And you know what I found, um, pretty I was kind of amazed by this, but you know what is fairly easy to do is to get your knowledge panel for your podcast.
Yeah.
That that is pretty easy to do. So you can go once you get that podcast and get a little bit of traction on it, then you can trigger the knowledge panel for that, and then you can go claim it. And that's just great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think podcast is great. I love stuff that Bogdan does, and I just know for me, I'm like, yeah, I want to get. That's one of my goals. I want to do more guest appearances on more podcasts, kind of expand, the my breadth a little bit of audiences.
Why not? But Aaron has also said he's wondering in 2026, will people start doing interventions or all of us addicted to vibe coding?
uh, I feel for you. I have not done any vibe coding. I couldn't even tell you how to get started on it. So, have you done any, Craig? I feel horrible. Like this is just one thing I've not even stuck my toe in.
Nah, I've not. I know my strengths and I know my limitations. And, if I want anything, I would hire someone that's better than me at it to do it for me. But there's a lot of people um, doing it, talking about it, and everything else. So it's a nice rabbit hole to go down, but it's just whether that's best use of my time personally, and I don't think it is. So I step out of that and don't bother going into that rabbit hole, Randy. If I want something, I'll get a developer to sort it out for me.
You know what's crazy? Guys like Aaron, I'm sure, is doing this where, they have an idea or maybe they're using a tool or in a specific elements within a tool and they're like, hey, I'm just going to go vibe code this thing, kind of create my own tool or my own app to do what I want to do. And they run with it, not necessarily even to go sell it commercially, but just to like have it internally so they don't have to rely on some other, third party tool out there.
But Big Nerdy's got his own tools and stuff as well, that he's shown us in the mastermind. But I think it's great if you can do it. I can't remember. Remember the one he had and it was just he probably coded it himself, not vibe coded it. But I think there's a lot of guys out there who do that stuff, and if it helps you with your day to day and automate stuff or whatever, fucking happy days. But I've always
Mhm.
always like for anything like that, I've got someone who can build Python scripts and stuff for me to do certain bits and bobs. But yeah, I've never wanted to try and do it myself because I don't think I'd get anything else done if I went down that rabbit hole. I think I'd be there all day, and it would all be stupid gimmicky things like basic shit that didn't make me any money that I would be making. I've got all these tools, but I'd have fucking no money coming in. So that's
Yeah,
the kind of issue I have
yeah,
with it. So because it's a massive rabbit hole, and if you can do shit, it's mind blowing for me that you know you can make these things really easily now without being a superstar coder. So I think it's a strange time. It's like it reminds me of going back to HTML and making websites back in the year 2000, and I was able
right.
to do the marquee text going across the top of the website, the scrolling text. It's fucking horrific looking now, but and I used to think I was fucking a genius, and I used to do this on every fucking website. And it was just a lot of nonsense really. But so it was kind of mesmerizing just because it was all new. Like, oh look, I can make a website and I can even fucking get the text scrolling across it. And now guys can make all of these tools to do all of their shit, and it's the same kind of concept, the same kind of mindset where you're like, fuck, I've got this thing, it can go and book a hotel for me or whatever, whatever it may
Yeah,
be. And yeah, it's interesting, but like I say, it's probably not best use of my time.
yeah. It's yeah, I mean, we've done some stuff, but it's not vibe coding. I've just done like I've had a couple of ideas like, "Oh, this would be a nice way to be able to do this. I wonder if I could." And then I went into Claude and kinda etched out, and then it you know, essentially generated the HTML code for us. I could host it on GitHub and Netlify so that we could launch it as an app that we just use internally to do some stuff. And, that worked well. But the vibe coding thing, I know. And there's some guys that are like seriously just all over it. I mean, that is their thing. I don't know that I just don't have time to like, I guess, dig into it. And some of it, I'm not. It really doesn't interest me all that much, though. Either is that bad to say? I'm not. It kind of doesn't intrigue me all that much. I'm like, because I'm kind of with you. Like, well, if I really had something to do, I'd just go have somebody go do it. And me doing it, yeah, I don't know. It
Depends what
doesn't.
you enjoy, Randy. Like I've always found, coding and putting stuff into LLMs and making it never fucking works effectively for me. I want to just say to someone, dude, this is what I need. Go make that fucking work. And you do the testing,
Yeah,
pull your own fucking hair out and come back to me when this fucking motherfucker works. That's kind
yeah,
of I've not got the patience for it.
yeah,
I'm a patient guy. So, and if I can't get it first or second time, I start losing the rag and I'll just throw the whole fucking lot in the bin. So I think you're just the type of person or personality I am.
yeah.
It's not a good fit.
Yeah. Well, that's me as well, I think. I'm an operator, so I look at stuff and I'm like, "Oh, we need to do this or create this or do this." And I can like, here's the process, but then I wanna go assign it to somebody and go have them do it. And so, it's kinda my thought around vibe coding as well. I'm like, "Well, I don't." I might have an idea, but I don't wanna go actually execute the steps around it. It doesn't A, I don't wanna do it, and B, it doesn't interest me enough. Even though I understand what the guys are doing, and it's good stuff, but yeah, it doesn't hold my interest enough, and I'm at the age where it's like, "Listen, if it doesn't hold my interest, I'm not gonna dig in. I'm not gonna dive in because
Um,
can
for
can you be any more sexy? You're the sexy man.
All the way, isn't it?
I know, right? Woo.
Can cussing I know I cuss a lot. I've never actually cussed in a website header or a title tag or meta titles or anything. Could that hurt your SEO? Do you know what?
It can hurt.
I would probably imagine that Google would have within their algorithm for certain businesses and stuff, like if there's swear words and stuff, they're getting shoved down a bit. If you're going to cuss and
Probably.
swear on there, I would imagine it might not. Someone might say, "Oh, I fucking tested it, and bullshit. It didn't have any impact." But can you imagine having something like "big sexy motherfucker builders" in Ohio? Um, you know,
What if you put that though in the meta description, right, of an image or something? And then would that get
well, do you
dinged?
know what? Like, what Ryan goes on to say there as well, he finds them sometimes and he loves to read the content and it has to boost engagement and time on the website.
Yeah,
There's a website once out there, I need to check if it's still there. It's a funeral website, budget-funerals, it was .co.uk, I think. And a lot of people Google budget funerals for people who die in their family, and you went onto this website, and the language and the shit that it said on there was a fucking disgrace. Like they would say, they sell like if you're getting cremated, they'll sell you like a celebrations box. You can stick the old bastard in the celebrations box, and it was just a mockery. It was like a parody website, if you like, for people who were trying to uh, bury their
yeah, yeah.
relatives on the cheap, and it said all sorts of crazy stuff on it. And that website ranked like a fucker. But I would say a lot of people were sharing that website. A lot of people are
Sure,
looking
sure,
at
sure.
it, sharing it with their mates. So the engagement signals obviously pushes that up. But I don't know. I think realistically, in today's day and age, I'm not sure cuss words would help you. But I get what you're saying, Ryan. I think the engagement. We all know that engagement's a ranking factor, absolutely. And if you can do anything to get engagement, um, I think it's better than the standard title tags or the meta descriptions that are out there.
Mm,
But I don't know if they kind of if everyone else's title tags don't have swear words and yours does, are Google clever enough to say, "No, fuck you, you're just a rude bastard"? I would hazard a guess they've got to be. I'm not
yeah,
saying
yeah.
Google are the most clever in the world, but um, I would not be doing it personally. But
I have a question kinda along the same lines, so you do a lot of different videos. We do these live streams. I mean, and you just are Craig, right? You're just swearing and being who you are. Have you ever had any, um, of your videos, like, on YouTube? Has YouTube ever come at you and like on, "Hey, we're banning this. We pulled this video down because it, violates our, policies on whatever."
not not for like fuck or bastard or words like that. Um, on my Dan Pena podcast,
Mm,
he spoke about climate change and spoke about a couple of other things, and I did get a warning saying, and it came up on YouTube as well, saying on this video they're discussing climate change, so they demonetized the video,
mm,
and they also dinged that video. Um, couldn't do promotion on it or fuck all because he mentioned climate change. So I think there's certain topics that are
mm,
frowned upon, like climate change and various other things. So I think if you say that more than fuck, because generally speaking, people do say fuck here and there, and there's a lot of guys out there who cuss. So I don't think YouTube can kind of hammer you for certain things, but I think other things that you might want to talk about, that
mm.
flags up, I think you absolutely can get demonetized. And
Yeah.
I've had that, but never for the type of swearing I do. You know, the type of swearing I do is just street swearing. You know, just general guy talk. Fuck,
Right, right.
fuck that. You know, it's just the way we speak in Glasgow, really.
I just had it for the first time actually where YouTube. So one of the services that we do is that we'll take your press release, and then we'll make a podcast episode from it, build out the show notes, SEO optimize uh, that podcast episode. We record it audio. It's my clone voice that reads through the podcast. And then we put the links in the show notes, and then we distribute that out across all of our platforms on the News Guy podcast. And on one of the platforms is YouTube, right? So we converted to a video and put that out there on YouTube podcast. And just like I don't know, on Thursday, I got the warning. They pulled it down. One of the podcast episodes coming from one of the PRs, and it was about mentioned something about cannabis of some sort. I can't even remember what it was. I was shocked. I was like, wow, they pulled it, and they gave me a warning for it. I'm like, and they get all up in your face, like, yeah, you do this again, you mother, we're gonna, I'm like, Jesus. So I was shocked. That was the first time I've had anything pulled down from YouTube.
That's why certain streamers have jumped over to like Rumble and stuff, because it's non-censored, where the algorithm for YouTube or whatever does, it can detect words
Yeah.
like you mentioned, and certain other topics that they don't want you talking about. So you are censored to a certain degree, but I don't think they can tell you to stop, saying generic swear words. I think it's
Mhm.
more of a topic that's frowned upon rather than the words that are used, if that makes sense. Because I think TikTok as well, they they censor a lot of stuff, and will pull videos down. And there was a guy from One Direction who killed himself in Argentina, or fell off a balcony or whatever it was, last year. And on TikTok, there was all these rumors saying that he'd taken drugs and fell off the balcony or whatever it was, but they couldn't say the word drugs on
Right.
TikTok. They would call it drugs, or something like that, to bypass the algorithm from slapping the video. So there's certainly TikTok and stuff like that as well. There's certain things you cannot say without getting
Yeah.
dinged. So
Yeah.
it's a pain.
Crazy.
So hopefully that answers your question, Ryan. And that's where I think Google would ding you for certain words. I'm not sure
Mhm.
fuck would get you dinged, but
It's gonna flag it or not.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Interesting. Um, just as a complete aside, a little off tangent, have you ever done a search for something and then popping in the AI overview, and not just over on the side bar where it's going to show the citations, but actually in the AI overview itself, the the video of something that's talking about whatever it was with your search, where the video itself popped up in the AI overview.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, let me share my screen. I want to show you this. I was like playing around with this today, just like, oh, because we were doing a piece of content. I just put it in there. I'm like, hey, what is this thing? And I wanted to see how it was popping up in the overview. So, we had done a piece of content, several pieces, but I just did something and put it out on LinkedIn today. And I wanted to see, like, okay, what's popping up for this particular term right now. So press release stacking, right? PR stacking. So here's the AI overview, and I was looking at blah, 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 blah. And then boom, here's my video.
Wow.
Now, it's not just me, it also has another one from the semantic mastery guy. I think that's Bradley, isn't it? Is that
Yeah,
Bradley
Bradley
Bennett?
Bennett.
Yeah. But I was like, "Wow, look at that." I was like, I was excited that my video was popped up there, but I had never seen the videos being, offered up like that in the AI overview before.
Ah, but you
Like, I've always seen it, and here's Palmer over here. I've always seen, some videos pop up over in that sidebar,
yeah,
but not actually embedded in the overview.
that could be something they're trying out over there just now and might roll it out across the board because you guys always
Yeah,
seem to get the first dibs on anything, and then if it's successful, they roll it out everywhere else. But
yeah,
um,
yeah,
nah,
that just, like, stunned me. I'd not seen that yet before. That was the first time was this morning. I pulled that up and like, wow, that's crazy.
make sure you've got a link in your description on that that takes you to
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
um,
But
but
this is back to this point, right? When we're talking about podcasts and videos and how important they are, I think it's going to become even more and more and more important in regards to, showing up in the LLMs and the AIOs. So,
um, question here from Ryan, and he's basically asking, what is a great organic strategy to compete with the ergius? I don't even know how to say that word. CTR,
egregious, egregious.
TR manipulation for a local business. Are near me searches real people or robots? Um, what's your thoughts on that, Randy?
Well, I think the near me searches, well, let me take a step back. Um, I think there's a decent percent. I'm not sure exactly what I would want to put out there. I think there is a decent amount of traffic that is across the internet that is just robots. uh, and especially I think when you're talking about local businesses and and especially some of the more competitive kinds of niches in local businesses like home services, doctors, dentists, especially. I think there's a good amount of robot that's happening out there. And so near me searches, I'd say, I think I do near me. I like, hey, where's a bank, near me? I do that. I think real people do, but I also think it is a lot of robot activity. So when you ask, like, what can you do for CTR manipulation for a local business? I'd tell you what I would do. I'd just do CTR myself.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. There's a lot of people that build scrapers. There's obviously Google bots and God knows what else bots, Ahrefs bots, and every other fucking bot known to man that crawls the internet on a regular basis. So there are bots out there checking
Mm,
for all of this kind of stuff. But for CTR, for a local business, you want um, what is perceived to be real people from real IP addresses local to that area. Now, you've got people who run around with mobile phones. You've got people who spoof IP addresses. You've got people with various different types of software, with aged Gmails and everything that do all of this kind of stuff. So it's not quite as easy as just running CTR. You can't just go grab
right,
IT
right.
workers and get all the Indonesian shit or anything. Got to be
Yeah.
a little bit cleverer than that. And I think sometimes just paid.
And run ads too, right? So run meta ads to get CTR. Yeah. And that actually is probably as cheap as anything. I mean, you could go run some meta ads for a buck or $2 a day and just let that run and go click and change it up every few days to like clicking up or going to different pages on your site or going to your GMB. Sure.
You'll remember this more than anything, Andy. People in the mastermind kept saying, talk about CTR, talk about CTR, talk about CTR. And they're wanting me to give them some magic tool that doesn't fucking exist. I said, like, just run Facebook ads.
Vibe coded, baby.
Just run Facebook ads. It's going to be cheaper than buying mobile proxies, running around like a dickhead with phones,
Yes.
and spoofing and all this. It's fucking hard work. So, running ads is just, like we said at the start of the show, it's a lot less stress, and arguably it costs as much, if not cheaper, to run the ads.
Yes.
So
So here's the magic formula right here. There's a bazillion different tools out there that'll do this for you. Go create like a 15 to 30-second kind of humorous AI generated video about your niche or about something, and then go put that up on in Meta and go run ads to it, clicking out to your website, and go run like $1, $2 a day just for engagement. Yes, you will get clicks coming to your site for that. Absolutely. Videos are working so well. Any kind of humorous videos right now, especially, working so well on Meta ads.
yeah, but hopefully that helps you, Ryan. But like I say, there is no special amazing CTR. I've tried micro workers. I've used micro workers over the years for YouTube. That works because YouTube don't give a fuck where the views come
Yeah,
from.
yeah,
Certainly
yeah.
for local business, the first thing I would do would be paid ads, meta ads. I just think it's low cost and it will give you enough, because even if you could do the CTR, let's say there was an amazing tool, you're only going to be running very small amounts of clicks onto that website anyway, because it's a local area. It doesn't have thousands of searches per month. So save yourself mobile proxy money, because one mobile proxy is $77. Even if you
Yeah.
spend $2 or $3 a day getting 4 or 5 clicks, it's still going to be about $70 a month, or $100 a month, whatever.
Well, and that doesn't even include the tool, right? So, I mean, doing CTR with a tool is expensive. I mean, it is not a cheap proposition.
Different if you're
So,
doing it for hundreds and hundreds of websites. It may be more
yeah,
cost effective to to scale your own system at that point. But even at that, I would argue the time to
I
set
don't
that up
think
and
so.
all that, and your tool or your proxies getting burnt out or whatever, you're just
Yeah, yeah, and you gotta stay on top of it with the CTR. Using the CTR tools is challenging. Now, I do use a couple of those tools though, but I use them for a few different things. Like, Nerdy and I use certain tools just to do impression searches, no clicks, but just impressions, to drive that stuff up. And but you still got to like set it all up. You still get, all of the intensity. Like if I'm doing it, and this is me as well. If I'm doing CTR on a tool, I don't, I have not handed that off to anybody because I think you can really kind of um, toast a website if it's done improperly. And so I always feel like I just want to control this myself a little bit more. So, but when I'm setting it up on a site, I mean, it takes me a good 15 minutes, to kind of set it up initially. And then every week, every 5, 6 days, I'm going back in and retweaking it again. I mean, it's a pain in the ass a little bit sometimes.
but there we have it. But
God, oh, I gotta share something with you real quick.
yeah,
Last Thursday, so just a few days ago, right? I think I mentioned I was dropping a new video I was gonna run. We dropped a new video, kind of this holiday elf kind of funny kind of thing, and about press releases. That freaking video is like exploded. This is back to the thing around about utilizing videos and like go create some AI generated videos and use them in Meta and what have you. That video so far, and I haven't pushed anything I've done. I put it on Facebook and I just did like a boost the post on Facebook with it. Um, and then that's the only thing that I've done with it at this point. I think I probably have spent maybe $10, if that, because I probably did a boost the post for like $2 a day. So whatever, I'm into the fourth or fifth day at this point. But that video has gotten over 140,000 views on it so far in
Fuck,
the last, yeah, since Thursday.
that's mad.
Crazy. Yeah. And, just driving a ton of traffic to the site.
Yeah. That's what you want. That's what you
But
want.
but when you start talking about CTR, that's the kind of shit. Go create and just think like, "Hey, here's an idea for a video," and go wrap it up into a tool and throw it out there, and it is amazing. Yeah. But anyway, all right.
Yeah.
Holiday. Woo,
Well,
it's Christmas week.
hope you all have a good Christmas. Check out the
Yeah.
news guy.
Yeah.
Logo's above and the link is below. I mean, we're back in the 29th, Randy, right? Nothing's changed.
Next Monday. You bet.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just double
Yeah.
checking.
Next Monday, we're going to talk about predictions for 2026. SEO predictions in life. There we
I don't know
go.
if you can predict life, but hey, we'll give it a bash.
Whatever we can do. The
Yeah.
prediction show. Yes.
I'll get my crystal ball out for then. But
Should be
guys,
fun.
have a good one, and we'll see you at the same time next week, everyone.
Yeah. Happy holidays, everyone.